out Zagara. Not going to see the bug.
Kerrigan ban. So not Sylvanas this time from Volume 0. Getting rid of that Kerrigan. We didn't see that much value out of it the previous game. We saw it on the first few, but it did fall off in the later game. We'll see what the first pick goes on Tire Fire Pyre.
They do have this Sylvanas open. That was a sticking point for me for their team last game. I'm wondering if they're gonna try to rekindle that magic. It was funny because like they messaged me after the game and like after they watched the cast and they are gonna go with Sylvanas and they're like I think they're like new to the game. I think they came over from League of Legends, so it was like they just didn't really get what the passive was. So I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense because they had the technical ability.
Yeah.
They just were not utilizing Sylvanas at all.
Well, hopefully this game, if they do get the shrines, and if they are listening, hey, Tire Fire Pyre, you should probably push and turn off those buildings so that the Punisher can punch away at the other team. Li Ming Joanna picked up from the red team. It's a lot like Li Ming Zul, right?
Yeah, that's what we saw earlier tonight. You're going to have the poke potential. We saw what Li Ming could do on this map. Trying to bring the wave clear. Was the recipient of a change this recent patch. Still able to clear waves. Still one of the strongest wave clearing warriors. Adds a lot of utility.
And he's going to have that new level 1 talent. I say new. Funny. But, he'll be able to take the block if he wants. Or maybe ops. Maybe ops for the more health. But I think that block talent's kind of insane. Being able to get 3 block charges every time you cast an ability seems
75%.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
And we have the imposing slow at 16 now, which is pretty neat when you pull in and then activate imposing on a 20-second cooldown. I think that it's just something that hasn't really been played with yet, right? And I really hope that we get to see that in this game coming out from Volume 0.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a good dynamic for them. Tire Fire Pyre, lock in Rhaegar. They want their ancestral healing before it potentially gets banned out. With Johanna already picked up, they may be inspired to take a warrior as well, so they're not boxed out on that front. They do lock in ETC.
I really like that ETC pickup. ETC or Murden here would have been fine. And like you said, you don't want to get chopped out on warriors. So just pick it up early. You have your Sylvanas. To me, there's tons of damage options right now, so why take damage early, right? You want it. The only damage I would consider taking early is the Li Ming, and potentially the Falstad. In this case, they opted to take that, Sylvanas for a little bit of utility, especially on this map. And we're gonna see a Jaina ban on Volume 0 side. Why do you think they banned that Jaina there?
I mean, power slides long enough to allow at least 2 of those blizzards to drop down on your face. The increased range and radius can definitely play a factor on a map like this where these tight corridors. So maybe they just have a little bit of PTSD about that from a previous game. Because otherwise, I mean, the immediate choice isn't really apparent to me. But the Ariel ban, I like that.
Yeah, I like getting rid of the Ariel with the Li Ming. Some good synergy there. They obviously could have gone Lunara as well, Volume 0, if they wanted to with the Ariel. Or the Cho'Gall composition, I guess it was still there. Maybe now getting rid of the Ariel, it chops that out of just kind of the radar, right? So
yeah, with already 3 heroes selected for them, they would have been in a pretty rough spot. Like they could have gone Tyrael, I guess, to counter out, but they just don't want to deal with those shenanigans. Robo, get out of there, freaking cat.
But we are gonna see a Tassadar picked up, and hopefully they pick something to go well with the tasks. They're going full into like Butcher, Illidan, Sonya, right? Something's gonna be on that 5th pick, and I like the idea of allowing blue team to pick what they're gonna take and then saying this is what you're gonna have to deal with, right?
I think it's cool. Like it kind of harkens back to like the era of like last year's BlizzCon where you saw a bunch of Tassadar Brightwing. But I'm telling you, man, that new Butcher's a whole thing.
And I was talking about it, Infernal Shrines. If there's a map for new Butcher, this is it, right? This is the map. You have full meat stacks in 5 minutes if you really aggressively double soak the lanes. Like even finding picks early. With the Rhaegar, there's not a lot there. You kill the little doggy. Brightwing. One thing about polymorph with Brightwing, and a lot of people don't know this. If Rhaegar goes into Wolf, and you poly as Brightwing, the Wolf is canceled. So then you can just kill her immediately after. So Butcher into Brightwing is an awesome thing, right? You charge the Rhaegar, he wolfs or goes into his wolf. You poly him. Bada boom, bada bing. You got yourself a kill and 5 meat stacks. So Greymane is going to be picked up on the blue side. Not really sure where else they're going to go with this pick.
They have all the key pieces, so now we're just gonna see like dealer's choice. What do they like to play? Greymane is Q when he's in Morgan form does a lot to clear out these defenders. The Ghanaian cocktail build seems to be the build of choice that offers a lot of poke to potentially wither down these shields and passive healing from Brightwing. But they're gonna lock in Stitches.
They just toss me for
yeah,
for a loop, man.
Ball.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, I was expecting a fastball, and that ball curved for sure. I guess Stitches in the ETC could be pretty sweet. Maybe you just put the big man on the point. Probably go into the slam build. Tassadar Brightwing, they don't really have a lot of damage, right? You put that Stitches in the front with, or maybe you don't go, maybe you don't go the slam build and you just take Spell Shield, just jam him in front of Li Ming's face and say, how are you going to kill me? Obviously, Volume Zeros is about to show them how they're going to deal with this man, with this last pick. So I'm really interested to see what they decide handles all of that meat on Stitches. Maybe the Carver, maybe the Butcher. Maybe we take the Butcher to town on all that.
Well, I mean,
Stitches meat.
You and I seem to be pretty locked in on his Butcher. If I'm on the side of Volume Zero, going into those last 2 picks from Tire Fire, I'm like, all right, it's Butcher. But after you see Stitches, I'm like, do we call the audible and go for Tychus?
It seems
that's what they've done.
It's about damn time they took Tychus, honestly.
Let's be real.
As if the meme isn't already too strong. Tychus into double tank. They're gonna have a hard time dealing with it. This is kind of shows this is a composition that something that E-Star would do in China, right? Very aggressive. You're putting all of the weight onto the Tychus' shoulder. He'll probably go in the rhythm. Maybe he'll go Giant Killer, but in the rhythm allows you to stand still longer, right? Giant Killer, you only get little bursts of damage. We'll see which level 4 talent he takes. This is kind of going to be a big deal for the Tychus for me. But he does have tons of protection from the Tassadar Brightwing. So I think I really like the Tychus pick. He's kind of, in my head, a melee assassin, right? So
the more I'm thinking about this Stitches pickup, I'm a little concerned, man. Because you look at Volume Zero's composition, right? Who do you really hook? Li Ming's nice, but she has teleport. She has some kind of escape. Johanna, Iron Skin, goodbye. Tassadar, Dimensional Warp, I'm out.
Yeah.
Brightwing, I'm a polymorph you. I might even have Emerald Wind. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Tychus can run and gun. So it's like they're gonna have to really coordinate this. It's gonna have to be hook right into a power slide, and then it's gonna the burst has to be serious. But it could work.
Off the top ropes, they're gonna just have to drop everything into that person. I think we'll see a slam build, honestly, out of the Stitches. Just a little bit of damage could go a long way on the objectives. I think blue team's main kind of play here is going to be win the shrines, right? Red team's is going, whenever I look at, Infernal Shrines in general, is I have one team that's going to play for the shrines, and I have one team that's going to try to keep the other team from winning the shrines. Right. And in this case, blue team is the shrine team, red team is the defender, right? We have goalie and attacker. So that's what we have going on here. So I think the slam on Stitches could be enough. Sylvanas just casually floating. I didn't know that happened.
I didn't either. Over on the left side, we do have the members of Tire Fire Pyre. You're going to have Frosty Knee doing that shake on Sylvanas, be the ATs on Stitches. I Hate Gods on Greymane. Debbie G. Rooster? So on ETC and Ray lose on Rhaegar.
Yeah, and then we're on the red team. We're gonna have Gur on Tassadar, Magnetic on Li Ming. I saw a Stitches hook there. Good attempt. Tychus gonna be Regomaru, I want to say. Tay on Joanna and Sleepy Bear on Brightwing.
One thing that I always say, Mac, at the beginning of Chair League games is I reserve the right to butcher people's names. It's not intentional, but some people got some interesting names.
Sometimes we're gonna try our best, guys, and it's just not gonna be good enough. So hopefully we do not insult you. Yeah, thank you guys though for allowing us to rip your names into pieces.
Frosty Knee has to hit that well early. That could have implications later on. The members of Volume 0 ahead in rotation, so to speak. BDAT lands the hook on Johanna, who, as predicted, hits the Iron Skin and says, I'm not even sure why I'm here right now. Gonna be able to move away. How do you feel about the 1v1 matchup against Greymane and Tassadar?
It's honestly just a pretty, stalemate matchup. The Greymane can get ahead with good cocktails like that. But Tassadar is just going to double storm the wave. Just storm it once, storm it twice. Greymane probably during that time is going to push the wave down. It's pretty neutral. If Tassadar uses his E early, let's say Greymane just kind of plays up and he E's to panic, Greymane can actually kill the Tass. But for the most part, I don't think anything crazy will be happening up in that top lane.
Yeah, unless someone goes way out of position or there's a heavy rotation, it does seem to be pretty even. A small experience lead in favor of Volume 0 right now. They could theoretically try to press a tier 4 advantage. We'll see if that plays out. God's going to keep this party started. Starting up the Shrine phase. All 5 members of Tire Fire Pyre here. Going to get themselves a nice lead on the defenders.
Yeah, and I like that Volume 0 knocked out that middle wave to get that level 4. So now they're going into this with a level 4. And Sylvanas taking a lot of damage. Good power slide coming out on ETC. Good follow-up there on the Greymane as well, but the reset is going to happen. Healing Word kind of topping everybody off of that. Brightwing, a nice orb connecting on Sylvanas. It's not going to be enough. ETC is probably going to fall down, and the resets are going to come out.
You're starting to see value out of this Brightwing Tassadar setup. The passive healing patching everybody up. There's nothing really to dissuade them from being in a tight group. It actually almost benefits them to avoid the Stitches hooks, so they're able to patch up. The shielding is there. And Tychus has been doing work. His health bar didn't even really drop in that team fight, and I think he's going to be a critical target for Tire Fire Pyre if they want to try to win these team fights.
And I want to point out 2 talents really quick before we hop into this Punisher. We got Healing Word on Tassadar, which is going to be great against, again, the blue team doesn't have a great way to deal with it. Not a lot of cone AoE effects. And another one is, Tychus said, screw you, McIntyre. I'm going to go Master Assassin. So this is going to... So more takedowns he gets, the more attack speed he'll have. This is maybe saying Odin? Question mark, At this point, this Tychus is his own man. He's showing me what's up, so we'll see. We'll see when we get to the level 10. Nice Punisher jump. Classic. John. Hey, guys, let's hug for the John Cena. John Cena, take a picture with us 4 right here. I got my selfie camera out. Yeah.
Got the picture in there. The follow-up, thankfully for them, was not there. Almost a little bit over a full level lead advantage in favor of Team Volume 0. Frosty getting some counter pressure and value in the top lane. You're going to see Tassadar rotate up top to address this situation. But right now, Volume 0 has to feel pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, and they did send that Sylvanas, like you said, to soak the off lanes. I would like to see that Stitches, he does have Slam build. He could probably soak the off lanes. For me, personally, I love sending my range to defend the Immortal. The Punisher. Because it's a lot safer to have ranged attacking it, right? And then put a melee or somebody that's unsafe attacking the Punisher in the off lane. So if they could make that transition, I think they would have a better time. If they were to ever lose a boss, maybe they never do. Nice hook coming out from Stitches, but that's just a point that I kind of want to bring up.
No, it's a really good one, too. I'm sure ideally for them, they'd rather just win out the Punisher and try to get value out of this Sylvanas, but sending her up there, definitely leaves some potential vulnerabilities throwing it at defense. But you're going to see Regamaru stick his neck out there, put a little bit of damage on God. He's going to hit his well with a good amount of mana and health. I'm wondering if he's going to regret that if he needs that in the Shrine phase.
Yeah, I'm going to say that was probably just a tap for mana. Just wants to be healthy for this next Shrine. Either you bring up a good point. If it was me or you, maybe we would have just backed, right? Kept that tap up, because if you take a lot of poke on this Shrine, you're going to go back and be like, hey guys, guess what? I don't have a tap. We cannot fight any longer. So we see Sylvanas also tapping here. They want to go into this fight healthy. They want to be decisive. They don't want to sit around. They can't let the red team just sustain their way, back to full health. If Volume 0 has the time and space with that healing ward on Task and Brightwing to kind of take a little bit of poke and reset, then they're going to win. So I think blue team saying, all right, guys, let's be full health, go right into this team fight.
And that's exactly what they're trying to do. The hook just misses a member of Volume 0. Power Slide is up for Debbie G. Rooster. Looking for the right moment to make their move. Frosty Knee throws the W out, just spreading some of that dot love around. Gonna try to negate some of that passive healing. But Tay's starting to lead the charge for Volume 0.
Sylvanas, Rhaegar taking a lot of damage on the back. He is going to be taken down. ETC trying his best. Resets are going to come out from the Li Ming. Will Greymane get out of here alive? He does, in fact, get out. A good attempt at the hook. Sylvanas is definitely the Oprah Winfrey of this game. Once she throws out the dagger, everybody gets a dagger. You get a dagger, you get a dagger. A nice poke tactic for sure. But it's not going to be enough, because they all might be getting daggers, but they all are also getting shields from Tassadar. You get a shield, you get a shield, everybody gets a shield. So,
yeah, I mean, this sustained composition of Brightwing and Tassadar it's been pretty rough for Tire Fire Pyre to crack through. They're down at full level. The heroic tier advantage, this Punisher's about to get picked up. This is going to be a big moment for Volume 0. How much can they capitalize on this, I'm wondering.
And Ragamorio just going against me again, saying, screw you, McIntyre. Taking the drill. Nice pick on the Li Ming, though, from the blue team. They might be able to find level 10 here and rotate and maybe take this 4v5. ETC's probably just going to pull this Immortal back.
That Punisher was chasing after him for real.
Punisher,
yeah, like a speed boost on that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
He goes back there. The Punisher's at 30% and falling. Level 10 is here for both teams now. If they overstay their welcome, this could become a thing. But Rhaegar and Sylvanas aren't in a position to really flank it, try to, push a numbers advantage. So it's going to be the second fort of the game at no cost.
Yeah, I would have really liked to see a rotation, a more aggressive one at least, coming out from the blue team. Once they hit level 10, they needed to be up there to get that 45 to find a way back into this game. Right now, they're just kind of opting to, maybe Stitches will hit a hook, and Stitches is like, maybe I'll hit this hook. So he's just wildly throwing hooks. It's not a bad tactic. If one hits, then they'll find that kill that they need. But for now, that's kind of their strategy.
I mean, they have some added tools in their arsenal now that they have heroics. They have Gorge. That's gonna lock some down for a few seconds. If they get the long range hook, they could definitely take them back behind their own fort walls. X, Y, and Z. Wailing Arrow stands to slow down these shields from Tassadar. If they can land a hook, Power Slide, Mosh, they should be able to take this team fight handily. But not with Stitches getting forced into the wall thanks to that Tassadar screen shield. You're gonna see him go down. The mosh pit used to no effect overall. That's a big cooldown.
The unfortunate part about Mosh Pit Halorin is that it deals 0 damage. So although you might get sweet 3-mans, 4-mans, even 5-mans, if there is no follow-up, then it is very ineffective. In this case, ETC Mosh to try to save his Stitch's friend. No one was around to hear it. So the music was put to waste, and Mosh Pit is now on cooldown. Good try, though, from Tire Fire Pyre. Ooh, and Sylvanas actually taken down. Not sure what she was doing.
Sylvanas behind enemy lines tried to steal this top fort. Only gets their life stolen in the end. You're going to have level 13 advantage here for Volume 0. They're going to go ahead and activate this phase and try to exploit that as much as possible. Tay just zoning out Stitches and ETC. They just have not been able to find a way to play this composition too aggressive.
Yeah, with an ETC pick too, like, you want to be aggressive, right? And struggling to find your aggression when you're taking such an aggressive pick. is always going to be a problem. So they either need to find a way to maybe make Greymane more powerful, be it a good gorge, right, into a slide, or Sylvanas is going to have to hit an incredible silence into an engage if they want to find a way back into this game. I still think they're on that Stitches plan, right? And they took the Stitches last pick for that reason. So hopefully it will pay out for them at 16 if they can make it there. That long hook sometimes is enough, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big gamble. It hasn't paid off from there. You're going to see the Wailing Arrow. The follow-up isn't there. Stitches does land the Gorge, trying to walk his member back as far as possible. Gets the Polymorph on the other side of the Force Wall. Bunch of damage going out on him. Greymane out front has to get the Ancestral Healing. Rhaegar stepped forward, loses his face in the process. You're going to see Stitches go down as well.
The problem with that Gorge was that it was actually on the Joanna, which probably is not the best target you want to be aiming for, right? She stone formed her way, or what is the passive called? This is me not knowing passives. For Joanna, Iron Skin.
Iron Skin.
She Iron Skinned her way out of there. Says, "Hey guys, I can't take any CC. Cool slide, etc." Tassadar gave him a shield. They even had an Emerald Wind on deck just in case things got really spicy. Just kind of walked out of there, and Li Ming got the reset on the Rhaegar, like you said. I think if the Gorge had been on a different target, it may have played out a little differently, right?
Either that, or if he was close enough to the keep wall to get Johanna behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, Johanna could have Iron Skin as much as they want, but if they're stuck behind the other side of that wall, they're going down. Mosh Pit is online. Tier advantages, or level 13 tiers, are the same. Deva pause. We saw Sleepy Bear get disconnected. I was surprised it took that long.
Yeah, I was like, blue team might have a chance here. Red team has a DC. Punish it, Hero League, guys.
Let's go.
Everyone top, quick, let's go.
So we do have a pause. And it's been interesting for us tonight because it's the second time we've seen a team take ETC on Infernal Shrines and not play in an aggressive manner with that advantage. And it has not paid off for either team so far.
We saw in game 1 they had the Kerrigan Kel'Thas, right? And that's a great follow-up. In this game, they sort of had it in the beginning with the Sylvanas, but they just didn't curve it out correctly, right? I would have loved to see, instead of a Stitches, imagine, like a Jaina, right? Or some sort of increase in burst damage, right? Just some sort of damage. Even Lunara could have been an okay sort of utility to slow them down once ETC hits the slide. Instead, they kind of put themselves in a situation where, they had I think they had the Greymane top, so they had their damage dealer top away from the ETC. So then ETC slid, and then there was not enough damage there, and there was really no CC either, because Stitches doesn't really bring a form of CC. Rhaegar, I guess the slow totem's there, but it's very hard to find the picks once the slide happens for the blue team, right? Because of the composition that they...
Yeah, it's like, I would go back again to the point I was trying to make in the draft. It's like they took the Stitches, but almost it felt to me like they didn't really respect the escape options that Volume 0 already had.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like anytime they do land a hook, there's a reliable escape.
Yeah.
And even if there wasn't one, they haven't really had to use Emerald Wind yet. But even if Iron Skin's down, or teleport from Li Ming, or running gun, like any of those things, Emerald Wind is like the ultimate escape hatch for that. So it just feels like they kind of counterpicked themselves.
I think if we looked at the comp and, hypothetically, if Li Ming was Hammer, the Stitches last pick would have made a little more sense, right? Or I guess it was, not a last pick, but a 4-5 for the blue team, right? Then we would be on the idea of, okay, Hammer will siege and then we'll hook her.
Yeah.
In this case, though, if we hook the Li Ming, just so happens that she has a built-in blink, right? And like you said, Emerald Wind, even Joanna could throw a Blessed Shield out. So many cooldowns can be used defensively to shut that plan down. So just going into that plan kind of on a whim is a Hail Mary. We're definitely seeing the results of that, right?
It's a gutsy choice. I mean, you look at that comp, the escape options after the hook, and you take Stitches in. It's like, I just believe in our ability to land these hooks. If we execute this properly, it doesn't matter what they have. But they just haven't been able to set up that moment. They haven't been able to get the hook into a power slide in the gray main exploding somebody would go for a throw. I don't know what your schedule's like after this game, Mac.
Mm-hmm.
But former Sonic said that another caster for Chair League, Bleedies, could not cast their game due to a reschedule. Would we want to pick up the Division 3 game after this one?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm done.
All right.
I got nothing
Former
else.
Sonic, you have your answer then.
Yeah.
So I was trying to make sure we had a good amount of Chair League games for the Mackin boy himself.
Yeah.
So another game getting added in there is definitely cool. So former Sonic.
I'm going to, while this is paused, super quick run to the restroom. Okay. So
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if it starts. You take control. You got the wheel.
I got it. I can do it. I got it. Oh, hey, that guy. How's it going, man? So yeah, I mean, the Stitches pick just hasn't worked out yet, in my opinion. I'm looking at the talents now while we're waiting. Looks like the person at DC, their computer crashed, so they're gonna be back in a minute. But it's a slam build for Stitches. Trying to looking at the numbers. He only has 5,000 hero damage, so not the most value had out of that. Hey, Homopo, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, man. I actually saw that you posted it. You were in the chat earlier. My bad. But good to see. Good to see. Another big part of this story, Greymane has only been able to amass 8,090 hero damage. He's definitely gonna need to make himself more apparent in these team fights. If they are going to have the success, they have to have the burst there. They have to be able to close these kills out after the hook if they want to try to get these turn this game around. Sylvanas has 18,000 hero damage, the most for the members of Tire Fire Pyre. But when you compare that to Volume 0, Li Ming has 36,000 hero damage. That, my caster math might be a little off, but it's almost the amount of hero damage that the entire team, Tire Fire Pyre has.
Wait. Okay, I came back to hear one person has all the damage of the other team.
Well, Li Ming has 36,000.
That's more. I think it's more damage actually.
It
just did the math.
So 8, 10. 6,
they have 34.
Yeah,
they have 34, and he has 36.
Yeah. So
Li Ming's balanced, guys.
That's a problem, especially when you consider you're going up against a double support composition.
Yeah, I mean
that number has to change. That's a large part of why we only see one takedown to 7. So if they can get that Greymane going,
Greymane definitely has to turn up, especially considering he took Wizened Duelist at 7. It's a talent that says get kills, get stronger, and if I hit tab, blue team has 1 kill and not getting much stronger, right? When you talked about builds before, I would have loved to see the cocktail build, I think, here. Just to steal some of those, skeletons on the objective. Like, that little bit of poke damage, too, could mean, going into a team fight where they're all full health and going into a team fight where Li Ming, with the glass cannon, just took a cocktail to the face and is a little dizzy, right? Like, she, whiplash, the glass came out, took 30% of her health, and now, 1-2, you give her a go for the throat, and she's dead.
Right.
The one thing about the red team is they don't have a lot of burst healing, right? They have the Tassadar shield, but if you knock the shield over, and let's say Tass panics and shields Joanna, which happens a lot, right, Halorin?
Yeah.
You shield the Joanna, she shields down on cooldown, Greymane gets a good angle on the Li Ming, takes her out. That's what we want to be looking for. That's what the blue team wants to look for here. They're just not finding that. Hitting the Joanna is like hitting a wall. It's like knocking a tennis ball against a wall, right? You're going to hit the wall with the ball. It's going to come right back at you. That's what's happening here, except the Li Ming is an arcane orb. It's not a ball, but it's arcane powered, and it's hitting for more damage than your entire team. So there needs to be more here. There needs to be a little more here.
That is for certain. Because, I mean, Tychus has 13. Johanna actually has 10. So not doing too shabby on that front either. But I agree with you. I think the cocktail build would have been the way to go for Greymane. If his numbers are down because he's worried about jumping in there in Worgen form, and he's like, I don't want to just jump in and get blown up. I don't want to get condemned, and I don't want to have everything happen to me. Having the cocktail build allows you to poke these members down before you go in to close out these kills. So
as of now, they're walking into a Joe, you know? Like, that's what I feel like this game is walk into a Joanna, and, you know, how are we going to deal with her when she has Brightwing and Task behind her?
Right.
It looks like she's even going full tank build, right? Like, you look at the talents, like, this is saying, you know, I'm the warrior in the 5-man doing dungeons in World of Warcraft. Like, I've talented to tank as much damage as possible. You know, amplified healing, that's going to help Brightwing's healing on him. I think it even works with Healing Word, which Tassadar took. We have Spell Shield, and I would be really surprised if he didn't take Imposing. We also have Regen Master about to clock out, so we have an extra 500 there. Yeah, just going to be really difficult to deal with this Joanna for the blue side.
The other element to consider here is that Volume 0 is at 15.5 as far as their experience goes. Once they get level 16, 14's not far off for Tire Fire Pyre, but as uphill a battle as they have, just from a concept standpoint and composition standpoint, being down in talent tier doesn't make that one any easier.
Absolutely.
So once these level 16 talents, I would imagine we'd see Critterize. Critterize is going to give vulnerability to the polymorph target, and Li Ming's already
Glass Cannon
detonating everybody. And
Power
Glass
Hungry
Cannon got picked up.
Yeah, he's got all damage. Li Ming he's not messing around.
Yeah, that is a free ticket back to your base.
I can only imagine we'll see Firefly or Mirror Ball at 16 for the Li Ming too. It's even more damage, right? And Tychus will get either, you know, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
He has like the.
I don't know the names other than Titan Grenade. I'm not sure.
Right.
I think it's like armor piercing rounds. I'm just gonna say armor piercing rounds. He's got that at 16, which does more damage to the Q. So that'll isolate onto, let's say, the Stitches. Not to say that he already doesn't have Master Assassin, so he's assassinating people out here. So yeah, there's just a lot of damage on the red side for them to be so tanky and bulky, right, and so hard to deal with. They actually are packing a pretty big punch.
It's been working out for him. The person whose computer crash is loading in the hots right now, so we're almost ready. Rayleigh, the team in blue, Captain Tire Fire Pyre, very, very kind of saying no problem. Sportsmanship. That's what I like to see in Chair League. He says, how do we rejoin the game? Oh, rejoin. Rip. All right, so we should be back here before long.
I like how when they ask you to rejoin, they add in a new button that just says, nope.
Nope. Yeah, I love that it specifically says nope. Like,
why the word nope? Like, it just seems like you're like, nope. You know, like
I'm out.
Why not just no? Like every other like English no button. Like if I went up to like a cash register and it was like, would you like cash back? Nope. I would laugh every time. Like, I don't want to click nope there, you know? I just want to hit the no button. Blizzard, please. Like,
showing that they're human beings. They have a sense of humor. I appreciate it. It's when I first saw it, I was like, I had to do a double check. I was like, all right, it says no. Sleepy Bear says, sorry, Gus, guys.
Here we go.
All right, 3-2-3. We're back in here. All right, blue team in the top lane looking to get this top fort. Sylvanas died for this bad boy earlier, so they are able to come back. They got the bruiser camp. They can push that lane up a little bit and rotate back. Level 16 being around the corner. They don't want to hang around here for too long.
We really want to find the 16, right? Red team is obviously about to have it very soon, but it is, crucial for the blue team to find the level 16 talent right now. If Tire Firepower doesn't come up with a 16 talent before the next shrine, I think they might just chalk this game up. Obviously, there's still lots of time in the game, but having to lose another shrine, I now know what the caster curse is all about. I speak of the shrine and it spawns, but having to lose another shrine here is going to be big for them. We'll see how they respond, right? That's, I think, what we want to look out for now.
I mean, if I'm on the side of Tire Firepower, I'm almost at YOLO. I'm almost at full YOLO. This shrine's gonna be in the top part of the map. You already got Sylvanas down the bottom. Push the hell out of the bottom lane.
I think it's the right play here. I'm really glad that they've made that decision, and I want to see Greymane go Worgen. I'm happy. I'm happy right now. I can't complain. I think what they're doing is correct. They can push for the whole keep here if they want to. What red team needs to do now is respond, and I love this proactive play coming out from Tire Firepower. Like, this is how I love playing Heroes of the Storm. Make the other team respond to you, right? Don't respond to what they're doing, because now they could come up with a free keep and potentially still make it back to defend their keep. Yes, if they lose keep, right? It's not the end of the world because they've traded. So they could even threaten core here. This is an insane play, and you see Tire Firepower is going to be even backing up to defend, but I think it's too late.
That orb came in, definitely spooked the members of Tire Firepower. They started backing up pretty much immediately, but I mean, the damage is done. This is a victory on their part.
Absolutely.
They did force the members back. That Punisher, it probably will come away with the keep if they aren't able to clear it out in time.
Ooh, nice
oh
wall.
No, that force wall is devastating on Greymane. Ancestral healing lands, but this is just kicking off, Mac.
Yeah, and Greymane is going to be pushed back by the Emerald Wind, but it looks like blue team might be able to all get out of there. It is a Frozen Punisher on the keep, so there's not that much damage, but there was so many minions up there that it might provide enough damage for this Punisher to take down this top keep. If they do lose the keep, like I said before, it won't be the end of the world. They made a really heads-up play bottom, and they have an opening in case a team fight is to go their way in the later game. So we are going to lose a keep, but hopefully they can defend out this middle keep and keep this game alive for them.
Yeah, I mean, a sensational bit of shot calling definitely catapults them back into the game. It comes at a cost. The top keep does go down. They were not able to knock down the bottom keep. It's going to be catapults in the lane for the rest of the game, but it got them on even talent tiers. And Mac, if they won that team fight down at the bottom keep or in the bottom lane, they could have just ended.
Exactly.
That was a great call for them.
If red team hadn't responded like Rhaegar's going to take a lot of damage. Greymane going in. No Ancestral, but a great mosh pit going to be connecting. Ragamaru is going to go down on Tychus. Li Ming is also taken down. A great Emerald Wind to zone everyone out. Ty playing up as Joe. Stitches says, come here. I feel like eating a little bit of Joanna. He puts him in his belly. Are they going to be able to pick up this kill?
I think they are. The Gorge is definitely going to isolate him, and the rest of his teammates were like, all right, well, vaya con Dios, my friend. You are gone. And with only Tassadar and Brightwing alive,
they've opened it up, right? They pushed that bottom keep out earlier, and now this is, there's lots of time here. They're definitely getting the keep. Yeah, they are definitely getting the keep. Do they make the play? It looks like Greymane has back, so they're going to just say, let's just get a keep. Let's get this, let's just even this game out, and we'll take it to 20. So I think I agree with you, Halorin. If that was me, I'm getting into the pocket. I'm kicking it back a little bit further, and I'm going to just rip a Hail Mary. Like,
right.
I'm sending it.
I would be ready for the YOLO at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you could stagger out deaths a little further. And the key element for me was that Ancestral Healing was up. Having that burst healing would have been huge, but we do have another scrap here in the mid lane. Stitches is able to secure the disengage. But the hook goes out on Sleepy Bear. Oh, no! It only takes one hook, Mac.
That's all it
takes one.
When we took the Stitches, Firepower told me this. When they took the Stitches, they said, we're going to hit one hook at 17 minutes into the game, and we're going to take this one home. So I said, all right, show me. And they just showed us. Right Wing is going to be taken down. No Emerald Wing being able to get out. She will be back up and be able to global in, right? That is key, but the Shrine is definitely going into Tire Fire Pyre's favor.
I mean, this game has opened wide up. Tire Fire Pyre is back. They listened to all of our commentary during that break, and they were like, oh, all right, we got to get the kill off the hook. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and do exactly that. They have all their heroics. They have a Mortar Punisher. They're ahead in experience now.
A minion wave, minion wave, middle fort, and middle keep wall is level 20 for them as well. So this is really important here. With that Sylvanas, getting that level 20 right now could be catastrophic for Volume 0.
If they lose 2 heroes, 3 heroes, this is going to be game.
Absolutely. A nice shield coming out, just a little zoning shield. Feeling the pressure, right? Feeling the pressure. Here's the level 20. How do they use this 20? Is ETC going to look for this slide?
I think he might. He should. I mean, it is up. The hook goes in. You're going to see the Gorse Tychus gets abducted. The chase is on. Iron Skin gets popped early in the progression, but look at that burst damage on Tychus's face.
And the Immortal's working on the backline as well. He's come off of the keep. If I was blue team, I would play back up with him. There's a lot of space here. That 20 talent is still up. We still have 20 talents to be taken as well, so I would have played a little bit more aggressive there. I think they're respecting that top push. That hard camp was taken by the red team during that shrine, and it actually pushed in and caused Firepower to back up and actually defend it. So heads up play from Volume 0, just taking that top hard camp, right? Even though they had a sacrifice shrine, they took the hard camp, and that caused enough space for them to get that level 20 and not just lose out there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge play. If they did try to push for the core, I do think that Winions would have won the day. You're going to have Stitches clearing out the top lane. Bruiser Camp is picked up. Siege Camp stolen away in the bottom left corner of the map. Rotation down towards the bot lane. You see Tire Fire Pyre not too far behind. This is what I love about heroes, Mac.
This is we are playing with fire right now, and by that, Volume 0 is actually playing with Fire Pyre. Nice hook, a good gorge. Task is going to be a hard one to take down, but it is possible if they execute this correctly. Nice shield. Greymane, a good E over 2. As long as he keeps up with his task, he should go down.
They're chasing after him. If they get that totem down...
This is big. No Tassadar. Lost the ability for vision. No longer can protect Joanna. We've seen tons of force walls come out that have been super effective. Those are off the table. And I think we have shrine spawning in no more than 30 seconds. So this game, yeah, this is looking really good for Tire Fire Pyre.
They have rallied back the hard way. You're going to see the shrine show up in 22 seconds, 33 before Tassadar is back up. So if Volume 0 shows up at all, and these deaths continue to get staggered out, this is a bottom lane Punisher. With the bottom keep already down, that's effectively the game. Tire Fire Pyre comes with.
Huge spawn. RNG is on their side. They must be Hearthstone players. They're going to tap this bottom shrine, probably get very ahead here. Tass is not up for another 10 seconds. He won't show up for another 15. They're saying, we got to sack this, guys. Let's clear out mid. Maybe they look to pull the Punisher to the middle lane.
Now I'm wondering if they remembered how this went earlier when, you know, Tire Fire Pyre just started pushing bot once the Punisher got picked up. They might try to do the same with this exposed. The Disintegrate goes in, no value there. The hook goes in on Li Ming. They are able to teleport back. Iron Skin gets used. Li Ming again getting zoned by WG Rooster. You're going to see the Condemn go in. Arcane Punisher is picked up. And now it's just a game of seeing how much you're going to be able to burn this Punisher.
I think Tire Fire just needs to slow down a little bit. Just take a breath. A nice Mosh is going to connect, though. The Punisher punching out the back lane. Are they going to have enough for Brightwing? Tychus also taken down as well. This is looking really good for them right now.
I think that mosh pit's the game, man. I mean, that's Tychus right wing getting taken out. Polymorph's not going to be there. The percentage-based damage of Tychus isn't going to be it. All eyes for me are on Li Ming. If Li Ming goes down, game's over. If Li Ming can blow everybody up, game's over. But she's not going to do that in the top part of the map.
She's rotating to try to backdoor the core, but the Greymane and the shot calling from Firefire said, hey guys, send one back. This Punisher is our Greymane. We can have Greymane to go defend our core. He'll punch away at the enemy team. And he's doing exactly that. Greymane is also able to pick up a kill here. Li Ming being that glass cannon build, if Greymane gets on her, she's going to have a bad time. And Firefire just rallying back into this game.
6.5 out of 10, man.
Comebacks.
6.5 out of 10.
Comebacks are real sometimes.
Fire Pyre coming back for real.
I almost
to close out the game.
I almost want to say that when I tapped, it was 1-7, and the game ended 10-7. When we were on pause, I think it was 1-7, right?
Yep, it was.
Now it's 10-7. So 3-2-3, guys. I don't know what else to say. 3-2-3, right?
The Illuminati? The Illuminati
confirmed. It's confirmed.
Greymane came to life after that break. He had 8,000 damage going into the break. Now he's at 32. Most kills on the team.
He got some stacks. I told him he took that passive. He needed to get some kills, and he found them.
And I would also credit Debbie G. Rooster. Those mosh pits late game, dirty. Just dirty.
That is the one thing about taking Disintegrate on Li Ming against the ETC, is you give up that wave of force, right?
That's big, yeah.
That ability to cancel that mosh. That last fight, in my head, I was saying, oh, Li Ming can just, wave of force this. And as I see her disintegrating the ETC, I'm just like,
whoops.
It's not going to be enough, I don't think. So, yeah, it was a good play. Good comeback from the Firefire.
That was an incredible game. I'm really impressed with Firefire's staying power. They didn't give up, because a lesser team, they probably would have been tilted or anything else, and they just would have given the game away from a mental standpoint. But I would have loved to hear their comms.
Yeah.
I'm like, once I started winning those team fights, I would have been pumped up. I would have been ready to go. So that's what I love about Heroes, man.
I think one thing that I just noticed just looking at hero talents as well is ETC with imposing. That actually seems like it could be really strong now, right? You got the activatable slow.
Yep.
Slide into slow. That seems pretty good. So the ETC was showing that off. He also went Storm Shield. He said, Max said that Greymane has to pop off, and Halorin said that Greymane has to pop off. Guys, I'm going Storm Shield. I'm going to make sure that he stays as healthy as possible and pops off.
And that's what he did. I mean, Greymane came to life after that break. The imposing presence is actually really strong against a hero like Tychus.
That is true.
I mean, that takes a lot.
You get an activation on that too, right? Wow, that's
right. Yeah. It has a passive, and then you can kick it up a notch. And it's only on a 20-second cooldown, so it's not like you have to be.
It's on minigun cooldown.
Judicious. Right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're minigunning me? Eat this, right?
Bye.
Awesome. That's cool. That's really cool talent. I like the way that kind of shaped up.
Yeah. Formasonic said they were not able to wait. They had to start their game, unfortunately. So that would be the last game of the night for Chair League. But what a great way to end it, man.
That was an
exciting game.
I'll walk away. I got a smile on my face. It was fun. That was a good game, a good cast. No complaints here.
Well, upset, hey, this is pretty fun to watch. Yeah, Chair League is a ton of fun to watch. I mean, the competitive Heroes scene is amazing. I love it. It's why I got into the Heroes of the Storm. I didn't even know about Heroes of the Storm until I got a beta key invite to, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I never played MOBAs before. And then I would watch like Caldor stream like videos on YouTube. And I was like, I would watch the Mackin boy himself. I was like, this Kerrigan guy, like this is crazy. Maybe I want to start playing a game. But to see like Chair League, these teams just they're friends, they hang out, they show up. It's like, all right, hey man, our game's Wednesday night. All right, cool, we'll be there. And you show up and you see like these acts of heroism. Like, I mean, that's what
awesome.
it is.
It's like it's awesome. Like it's
so to be able to give that to the community at large, it's like, you get casted, you have these epic moments, you come back, and Frosty, you for sure redeemed yourself. Your old team. That was a great turnaround.
It's fun. It's fun, right? It's like when, like I play Magic, right? And we have competitive Magic players, and competitive Magic's cool. Like it is, but I love watching just casual Magic players slam their big ass dragon on the table and just get pumped, like it's like, yes, you're like, that's awesome. Like, meanwhile, the competitive side are playing all these like really tactical, like super decisive, cards, and then you got this guy who's just banging out dragons and super excited about it. And like that's what this reminds me of, is like people having fun playing, which has always been huge for me. Because I love playing this game, and it's always been fun. It has never been like I'm a pro because I'm making money, like no,
right.
That's not why I do it. I do it for the community. I do it to have fun. I do it for the laughs, and this was exactly that tonight. So a great time.
Yeah, this happens to be McIntyre's first time dual casting. I'm honored to have the pleasure of dual casting. I had a ton of fun. We had a great set of games tonight, with which to do it. And that last game was the highlight of the night for me. That was a.
I think that one's going to.
Yeah.
That's gonna go to YouTube.
That one was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool for sure. Yeah. You are welcome. It's always a pleasure to cast you guys. If I